Model Paper 4, page T 4.1. 1. Exercise 1. Which of the following amendments to the Constitution of India sought to curb the political defection? A. 42nd, B. 52nd, 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 C. 62nd, and D. 70th. The correct answer is B, that is 52nd. Exercise 2. Consider the following statements with respect to the legislative powers of the governor. 1. The governor can summon, prorogue and dissolve the state assembly. 2. The governor can adjourn the sittings of the state assembly. 3. The governor addresses the first session of the legislative assembly after elections. 4. The governor causes to lay the annual budget in the state assembly. Which of the statements given above are correct? A. 1 and 2, B. 1 and 3, C. 2 and 3, and D. 2 and 4. The correct answer is B, that is 1 and 3. 1. The governor can summon, prorogue and dissolve the state assembly. 3. The governor addresses the first session of the legislative assembly after elections. Exercise 3. Match list 1 with list 2. And the head in the horizontal column, the heads are list 1 and list 2. Under the head list 1 in the vertical column, against serial number capital A, dictatorship of proletariat, against serial number capital B, avowal of rights, against serial number C, capital C, glorification of state, against serial number capital D, opposition to state in general. Under the head list 2 in the vertical column, against serial number 1, liberalism, serial number 2, communism, serial number 3, anarchism, serial number 4, fascism. Model code in the horizontal column, the heads are capital A space capital B space capital C space capital D. Under the head A, capital A, in the vertical column, against serial number A2, B3, C2 and D3. Under the head capital B, against serial in the vertical column, against serial number A4, B1, C1 and D1. Under the head capital C, in the vertical column, against serial number A1, B4, C4 and D1. Under the head capital D, in the vertical column, against serial number A3, B2, C3 and D2. The correct answer is C, that is under serial number capital A, dictatorship of proletariat. 2, that is communism. Under serial number capital B, and under the head capital B, avowal of rights. 1, that is liberalism. Under the head capital C, glorification of state. 4, that is fascism. Under the serial number capital D, opposition to state in general. 3, that is anarchism. Exercise 4. Match list 1 feature with list 2 act. Under the head list 1 feature and list 2 act, under the head list 1 feature in the vertical column, against the serial number capital A, federal scheme of government. Against serial number capital B, diarchy in provincial government. Against serial number capital C, communal representation. Against serial number capital D, rigid centralization. Under the head list 2 act, in the vertical column, against serial number 1, Morley Minto reforms 1909. Against serial number 2, Indian Councils Act 1861. Under serial number 3, against serial number 3, Government of India Act 1935. Against serial number 4, Montego Chelmsford reforms 1919. Code in the horizontal column, the heads are capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D. Under the head capital A, in the vertical column, against serial number A2, B3, C2 and D3. Under the serial number capital B, in the vertical column, against serial number A1, B4, C4 and D1. Under this head capital C, against in the vertical column, against serial number A4, B1, C1 and D4. Under the head capital D, against serial number in the vertical column, against serial number A3, B2, C3 and D2. The correct answer is B, that is under serial number capital A, Federal Scheme of Government. 3, that is Government of India Act 1935. under serial number capital under the head capital B, diarchy in provincial government. 4. That is Montague Chelmsford Reforms 1919. Under the head capital C, communal representation. 1. That is Morley Minto Reforms 1909. Under the head capital D, rigid centralization. 2. That is Indian Councils Act 1861. Exercise 5. Which of the following has been maintained by the Supreme Court in the year 1996 under Article 21 regarding an attempt to commit suicide? 1. It is a natural right of a citizen. 2. It is punishable under the law. 3. The court has nothing to do with it. 4. The court reserves the right of condonation. A. 1 and 3. B. 2 only. C. 1 only. And D. 2 and 4. The correct answer is B, that is 2 only. It is punishable under the law. Model paper 4, page T 4.2, exercise number 6. Which of the following statements is correct? The Chief Election Commissioner can be removed from office before expiry of his term, A. in the like manner and like ground as a member of the Union Public Service Commission. B. in like manner and like ground as a judge of the Supreme Court. C. on the recommendations of the Supreme Court. And D. on the recommendations of the Cabinet. The correct answer is B. in the like manner and like ground as a judge of the Supreme Court. Exercise 7. Under which article of the UN Charter has the term within inverted comma non-governmental organizations in inverted comma close be used? A. Article 71. B. Article 81. C. Article 69. And D. Article 82. The correct answer is A. That is Article 71. Exercise 8. Which one of the following statements describes a unitary system? A. Where the territorial divisions are subordinate agencies of the central government. B. Where the territorial divisions have coordinate status with the central government. C. A device to reconcile national unity with rights of the units. D. Where the functions of the government are vested in a single individual. The correct answer is A. Where the territorial divisions are subordinate agencies of the central government. Exercise 9. Which of the following is not correctly matched? A. Karl Marx, Grandisse. B. Harold Lasky, Grammar of Politics. C. Aristotle, the Statesman. And D. Karl Popper, Open Society and its Enemies. The correct answer is C, that is Aristotle, the Statesman. Aristotle wrote the book Politics. Exercise 10. Which of the following set of criteria was employed by the Second Backward Class Commission, popularly known as the Mondal Commission, to determine socially and educationally backward classes in India? A. Social, economic, political and educational. B. Social, economic and educational. C. Social and economic. D. Social, economic and cultural. The correct answer is B, that is social, economic and educational. Exercise 11. Who among the following thinkers are associated with early socialism, sometimes termed as Ethiopian socialism? A. 1. Robert Owen. 2. Saint Simon. 3. Charles Fourier. And 4. Proudhon. A. 1, 2 and 3. B. 1, 2 and 4. C. 3 and 4. D. 1, 2, 3 and 4. The correct answer is A, that is 1, 2 and 3. That is 1. Robert Owen. 2. Saint Simon. And 3. Charles Fourier. Proudhon was an anarchist. Exercise 12. 73rd and 74th amendments of the Constitution of the India provide for elections to the local bodies. A. Every year. B. After every 3 years. C. After every 5 years. And D. After every 2 years. The correct answer is C, that is after every 5 years. C. Article 443E. Exercise 13. Under which of the following provisions is reservation for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in every panchayat made. A. Article 243Q of the Constitution of India. B. Article 243B, Article 243B of the Constitution of India. C. Article 243A of the Constitution of India. And D. Article 243D of the Constitution of India. The correct answer is Article 243D of the Constitution of India. Exercise 14. Which of the commissions suggested abolition of the post of governor? A. Administrative Reforms Commission. B. Sarkaria Commission. C. Constitution Review Commission. And D. Rajamannar Commission. The correct answer is D, that is Rajamannar Commission. In Rajamannar Commission's report, this is an implicit recommendation. Exercise 15. In which of the following areas have the reforms been recommended by the Justice Malimath Committee? A. Criminal justice system. B. Civil law. C. Service conditions of judges. And D. Administrative law. The correct answer is A, that is criminal justice system. Model paper 4, page T4.3. Exercise 16. The system of public interest litigation has been introduced in India. A. Through constitutional amendment. B. By judicial initiative. C. By political parties. And D. By a parliamentary act. The correct answer is B, by judicial initiative. Exercise 17. Who among the following was the chairman of the States Committee of the Constituent Assembly? A. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. B. Dr. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. C. Dr. Rajendra Prasad. And D. Sardar Patel. The correct answer is B, that is Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Exercise 18. What was the reason for rejection of the Cripps plan by the Indian National Congress? A. It granted dominion status to the Indian Union. B. It granted dominion status to the provinces. C. It indirectly conceded the demand for partition. D. It was aimed at continuing British rule even after the war. Correct answer is C. It indirectly conceded the demand for partition. Exercise 19. Which of the following event led to the establishment of the Fifth Republic in France? A. Algerian crisis. B. Suez crisis. C. Cuban crisis. And D. Macau crisis. The correct answer is A, that is Algerian crisis. Exercise 20. In the US presidential election, in the event of no candidate securing the required majority, with whom is the decision left? A. Electorate. B. Electoral college. C. House of Representatives. And D. Senate. The correct answer is C, that is House of Representatives. Exercise 21. To which one of the following major political parties in India is C2? A. Trade Union attached. A. Indian National Congress. B. Communist Party of India within bracket Marxist. C. Communist Party of India. And D. Bharatiya Janata Party. The correct answer is B, that is Communist Party of India. Exercise 22. Which one among the following is associated with, within inverted comma, democratic deficit? A. Lack of democratic control. B. Lack of democratic legitimacy. C. Lack of democratic institutions. And D. Lack of democratic representation. The correct answer is C, that is lack of democratic institutions. Exercise 23. Who among the following employed the economic approach to the study of governments? A. Charles Schumpeter. B. David Edston. C. Gabriel Albon. And D. Charles Marion. The correct answer is A, that is Charles Schumpeter. Exercise 24. Which of the following first initiated the process of regional economic integration? A. Arab League. B. Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. C. Organization of American States. And D. European Coal and Steel Authority. The correct answer is A, that is Arab League. Exercise 25. Who did neoliberalism stress most for? A. Importance of the role of non-state actors. B. Inevitability of conflict and C. Importance of national institutions in reducing conflict between states, and D. Importance of national interest and power in bipolar world. The correct answer is A, that is importance of the role of non-state actors. Exercise 26. Which among the following scholars propounded the system approach towards the study of international relations? A. David Aston, B. Gabriel Almond, C. McClelland, and D. J.W. Barton. The correct answer is C, that is C. McClelland. Exercise 27. Match list 1 scholar with list 2 theory. Approach. Under the head list 1 scholar, in the vertical column against serial number A, Montego, against serial number wrong, repeat. Against serial number capital A, in the vertical column against serial number capital A, Morgenthau, and against serial number capital B, Bernard Cohen, against serial number capital C, Morton Kaplan, and against serial number capital D, Emil Bard. Under the head list 2 theory approach, in the vertical column against serial number 1, systems theory, against serial number 2, game theory, serial number 3, decision making approach, and 4, realist school. The code in the horizontal column, in the heads are capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D. Under the head capital A, in the vertical column against serial number A4, B2, C4, and D2. Under the head capital B, A3, B3, B1, C1, and D3. I repeat, under the head capital B, in the vertical column against serial number A3, B1, C1, and D3. Under the head capital C, in the vertical column against serial number A1, B3, C3, and D1. Under the head capital T, in the vertical column against serial number A2, B4, C2, and D4. The correct answer is A, that is under the head capital A, Morgenthau, 4, that is realist school. Under the head capital B, that is Bernard Cohen, 3, that is decision making approach. Under the head capital C, that is Morton Kaplan, 1, that is systems theory. Under the head capital G, that is Emil Bard, 2, that is game theory. Page T 4.6, model paper 4, exercise number 41. Consider the following statements. 1. In political science, decision making studies are studies that focus on all factors relevant to a choice and not just on the formal legal relationships of the decision makers. 2. According to Richard Snyder, decision-making analysis is not capable of dealing with a dynamic situation. Which of the statements given above are correct? E's oblique are correct. A 1 only, B 2 only, C even both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is A, that is 1 only. In political science, decision-making studies are studies that focus on all factors relevant to a choice and not just on the formal legal relationships of the decision makers. Exercise 42. Consider the following statements in respect of the general systems theory. 1. The general systems theory is highly attractive from the standpoint of empirical research. 2. The theory has been criticized for failing to adequately cater for concepts such as political power and influence. Which of the statements given above is oblique are correct? A 1 only, B 2 only, C both A and 1 and 2, and D neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is C, that is both 1 and 2. 1. The general systems theory is highly attractive from the standpoint of empirical research. 2. The theory has been criticized for failing to adequately cater to concepts such as political power and influence. Exercise 43. Consider the following statements. The American Congress is a sovereign legislature in the sense the British Parliament is. 2. Bicameralism found new foundation when the framers of the American Constitution designed it in the Philadelphia Convention in 1787. Which of the statements given above is oblique are correct? A 1 only, B 2 only, C both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is B, that is 2 only. 2. Bicameralism found new foundation when the framers of the American Constitution designed it in the Philadelphia Convention in 1787. Exercise 44. Match list 1 political thinkers with list 2 major approach. Under the head list 1 political thinkers, in the vertical column against serial number capital A, Jeremy Bentham, serial number capital B, Edmund Burke, serial number capital C, John Locke, and serial number capital D, Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Under the head list 2 major approach, in the vertical column against serial number 1 ruthless criticism of 18th century French society, against serial number 2 supremacy of reason, rejection of patriarchy and political absolutism, against serial number 4 utilitarianism, against serial number 4 against serial number 3 utilitarianism, against serial number 4 criticism of the French Revolution. The quotes are in the vertical column, in the horizontal column the heads are capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D. Under the head capital A in the vertical column against serial number A1, B3, C3 and D1. Under the head capital B against serial number A2, B4, C2 and D4. Under the serial number capital C, A4, D2, B2, C4 and D2. Under the head capital D against serial number A3, B1, C1 and D3. The correct answer is B, that is under the head capital A, Jeremy Bentham. 3, that is utilitarianism. Under the head capital B, Edmund Burke. 4, that is criticism of the French Revolution. Under the head capital C, John Locke. 2, that is supremacy of reason, rejection of patriarchy and political absolutism. Under the head capital G, that is Jean-Jacques Rousseau. 1, that is ruthless criticism of 18th century French society. Exercise 45. Consider the following statements in reference to the Constitution within 73rd Amendment bracket closed Act. 1. The Governor of a state shall consult a finance commission every 5th year to review the financial position of the panchayats under Article 233I of the Constitution of India. 2. The superintendent's direction and control of all elections to the panchayats are vested in the State Election Commission under Article 243K of the Constitution of India. Which of the statements given above is oblique are correct? A1 only, B2 only, C1 both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is C, that is both 1 and 2. 1. The Governor of a state shall constitute a finance commission every 5th year to review the financial position of the panchayats under Article 243I of the Constitution of India. Next, 2. The superintendent's direction and control of all elections to the panchayats are vested in a State Election Commission under Article 243K of the Constitution of India. Exercise 48. Consider the following statements. 1. Under Article 169 of the Constitution of India, Parliament may by law provide for the abolition of the State Legislative Council of a state having such a council. Wrong. I repeat. Exercise 46. Consider the following statements. 1. Under Article 169 of the Constitution of India, Parliament may by law provide for the abolition of the State Legislative Council of a state having such a council, or for the creation of such a council in a state having no such council. For this, the only condition is that the Legislative Assembly must have passed a resolution to that effect by a majority of the total membership of the Assembly. 2. Under Article 171 of the Constitution of India, the total number of members in the Legislative Council of a state having such a council shall not exceed one half of the total number of members in the Legislative Assembly of that state. Which of the statements given above is are correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. 1, both 1 and 2, and D. neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is D, that is neither 1 or 2. Resolution of the State Legislative Assembly to be passed by 2/3 majority of the members present and voting, which must include majority of the total membership of Assembly. Model Paper 4, page T 4.7. Exercise 47. Which of the articles of the Constitution of India are relevant to analyze the constitutional provisions that deal with the relationship of the President with the Council of Ministers? A. Articles 71, 75 and 78. B. Articles 74, 75 and 78. C. Articles 73, 76 and 78. D. Articles 72, 73 and 76. The correct answer is B, that is Articles 74, 75 and 78. Exercise 48. Which one of the following scrutinizes in detail the report of the Comptroller and Auditor General of India? A. Public Accounts Committee. B. Estimates Committee. C. Select Committee of Expenditure. And D. Consultative Committee of the Finance Ministry. The correct answer is A, that is Public Accounts Committee. Exercise 49. Match list 1 with list 2. In the horizontal column, the heads are list 1 and list 2. Under the head list 1, in the vertical column against serial number capital A, cart motion. Serial number capital B, guillotine. Serial number capital C, division. Serial number capital D, point of order. Under the head list 2, against in the vertical column against serial number 1, mode of arriving at a decision. Against serial number 2, demand to reduce allocation of funds in the budget. Against serial number 3, bring debate to a close. Against serial number 4, put an end to the business of the day. Against serial number 5, request for interpretation or enforcement of rules of procedure or constitution. Court. In the horizontal column, the heads are capital A, capital B, capital C and capital D. Under the head capital A, in the vertical column against serial number A2, B5, C2 and D5. Under the head capital B, against serial number A3, B1, C1 and D3. Under the head capital C, against serial number A1, B4, C4 and D1. Under the head capital D, against in the vertical column against serial number A5, B2, C5 and D2. The correct answer is A, that is under the head capital A, cut motion. 2, that is demand to reduce allocation of funds in the budget. Under the head capital B, that is guillotine. 3, that is bring debate to a close. Under the head capital C, that is division. 1, that is mode of arriving at a decision. Under the head capital D, point of order. 5, that is request for interpretation of enforcement of rules of procedure or constitution. Exercise 50. What is the prime object advocated for appointment of the National Judicial Commission? A. Bringing about transparency and impartiality in the appointment of judges at the highest level. B. Looking into the functioning of the High Court judges. C. Training of the judges. And D. Reforms in the legal system. The correct answer is A, that is bringing about transparency and impartiality in the appointment of judges at the highest level. Exercise 51. When can the governor of a state issue an ordinance? A. When the union government asks him to do so. B. Whenever there is a law and order problem in the state. C. Whenever the state legislature is not in session. and the governor is satisfied that immediate action is needed. D. Whenever the judiciary advises him to do so. The correct answer is C. That is, whenever the state legislature is not in session and the governor is satisfied that immediate action is needed. Exercise 52. Consider the following statements. A. 1. A panchayat elected after dissolution does not enjoy the full period but remains in office for the remaining period. 2. For panchayats, seats are reserved for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, women, but not for backward classes of citizens. Which of the statements given above is oblique are correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. both A and 2, and D. neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is C. That is both 1 and 2. 1. A panchayat elected after dissolution does not enjoy the full period but remains in office for the remaining period. 2. For panchayat, seats are reserved for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, women, but not for backward classes of citizens. Page T 4.8, Model Paper 4, Exercise 53. Which one of the following committees of the commissions suggested the creation of Local Finance Commission? A. Balwant Rai Mehta Committee. C. Ashok Mehta Committee. Balwant Rai Mehta Committee. B. Ashok Mehta Committee. C. Administrative Reforms Commission. D. Sarkaria Commission. The correct answer is B. That is Ashok Mehta Committee. Exercise 54. 16 articles of the Constitution of India deal with the directive principles of the state policy. Which of the following pairs is not correctly matched? Directive principles of state policy, heading, an article. Under the head Directive principles of state policy, under the head Directive principles of state policy, in the vertical column against serial number A, to secure just and humble. Under the head Directive principle of state policy, in the vertical column against serial number A, to secure just and human conditions of work and maternity relief. Article 42. Under the Article 42. Under the head Directive principle of state policy, in the against serial number B, to organize village panchayats as units of self-government. Under Article 40. Under the head Directive principle of state policy C, to secure the improvement of public health and the provision of intoxicating drinks and of drugs which are injurious to health. Under Article 47. Under the head Directive principle of state policy, against serial number D, to protect all monuments of historic interest and national importance. Under the head Article 50. The correct answer is D, that is to protect all monuments of historic interest and national importance. Article 50. Article 49 deals with the protection of monuments, etc. Exercise 55. What does the proposed scheme of interlinking of rivers in India aim at? 1. Controlling floods. 2. Increasing irrigation facilities. 3. Solving drought conditions. And 4. Rehabilitate the migrant farmers. A. 2 and 4. B. 1, 2 and 3. C. 3 and 4. And D. 1, 2, 3 and 4. The correct answer is B. That is 1, 2 and 3. 1. Controlling floods. 2. Increasing irrigation facilities. And 3. Solving drought conditions. Exercise 56. Which did the concept of within inverted commas scheduled caste originate from? A. The Scheduled Caste Order 1950 under the Constitution of India. B. The Scheduled Caste Order 1951 under the Constitution of India. C. The Scheduled Caste Order 1936 under the Government of India Act 1935. D. The Scheduled Caste Order 1937 under the Government of India Act 1935. The correct answer is C. The Scheduled Caste Order 1936 under the Government of India Act 1935. Exercise 57. Which of the following subjects is included in the concurrent list of the Constitution of India? A. Citizenship. B. interstate rivers, C. Trade unions, and D. All India service. The correct answer is C, that is trade unions. Exercise 58. When can the Parliament legislate on a subject of the state list? A. If the Parliament passes a resolution to that effect in the national interest. B. If the Supreme Court grant necessary authority to the Parliament. C. If the Rajya Sabha passes a resolution by 2/3 majority declaring that the subject in the state list under consideration is of national importance. And D. If the President issues an ordinance transferring the subject from the state list to the Union or the concurrent lists. The correct answer is C. If the Rajya Sabha passes a resolution by 2/3 majority declaring that the subject in the state list under consideration is of national importance. Exercise 59. Consider the following statements in respect of provisions as to financial emergency. 1. A proclamation of financial emergency has to be laid before each house of the Parliament. 2. A proclamation of financial emergency ceases to operate at the expiration of 6 months unless before the expiration of that period it has been approved by the resolutions of both houses of Parliament. Which of the statements given above is oblique are correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. both 1 and 2, C. neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is A, that is 1 only. 1. A proclamation of financial emergency has to be laid before each house of the Parliament. Exercise 60. Which of decisions pertaining to the following cases of the Supreme Court was further reaffirmed by the judgment in Minerva Mills case? A. A.K. Gopalan case, B. Sajjan Singh case, C. Keshavananda Bharati case, and D. Goloknath case. The correct answer is C, that is Keshavananda Bharati case. Exercise 61. Consider the following statements. 1. The allocation of seats in the Rajya Sabha to be filled by the representatives of the states and of the union territories is in accordance with the provisions in that behalf contained in the 4th schedule of the Constitution of India. 2. The representatives of each state and the union territories in the Rajya Sabha are elected by elected members of the Legislative Assembly of the state and the body functioning as legislature of the union territory in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of the single transferable vote. Which of the statements given above is oblique are correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. both 1 and 2, and D. neither 1 and 2. C. The correct answer is C, both 1 and 2. The allocation of seats in the Rajya Sabha to be filled by the representatives of the states and of the union territories is in accordance with the provisions in that behalf contained in the 4th schedule of the Constitution of India. 2. The representatives of each state and the union territories in the Rajya Sabha are elected by elected members of the Legislative Assembly of the state and the body functioning as legislature for the union territory in accordance with the systems of proportional representation by means of the single transferable vote. Which of the statements given above is oblique are correct? Exercise wrong. I repeat, model paper 4, page T 4.9. Exercise 62. In which of the following provisions of the Constitution of India is the principle of collective responsibility of the Council of Ministers enshrined? A. Article 75 clause 3, Article B. Article 75 clause 1, C. Article 171 clause 4, D. Article 118 clause 4. The correct answer is A. Article 75 clause 3. Exercise 63. How can the number of judges in the Supreme Court in India be increased? A. By presidential notification, B. by a parliamentary act, C. by amendment of the Constitution of India, and D. representation from the Supreme Court. The correct answer is B. by a parliamentary act. Exercise 64. Consider the following statements. The Wildlife within bracket Protection bracket closed Act 1972 has been adopted by all states except Jammu and Kashmir. 2. The objective of the UN Framework Convention of Climate Change within bracket UNFCCC bracket close to which India is a party is to be protected is to protect the ozone layer. Which of the statements given above is correct? A 1 only, B 2 only, C both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is 1. That is 1 only. The correct answer is A, that is 1 only. 1. The Wildlife within bracket Protection Act 1972 has been adopted by all states except Jammu and Kashmir. Exercise 65. Consider the following statements in respect of the Constitution of Germany. 1. The number of seats in the Bundestag varies within the members of the Bundestag are elected for a term of 5 years. 2. The federal president is elected for a 5-year term by the Bundestag. Which of the statements given above is correct? A 1 only, B 2 only, C both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is D, that is neither 1 and 2. Exercise 66. Consider the following statements in respect of the Constitution of South Africa. 1. The Constitution of the Republic of South Africa was amended to provide that the Constitutional Court judges are appointed for a non-renewable 10-year term of office or until they reach the age of 70 years. 2. If a bill is rejected by one house, then it is referred back to both the houses, that is the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces, after consideration by the National Committee. Which of the statements given above is are correct? A 1 only, B 2 only, C both A and 2, and D neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is 2 only. If a bill is rejected by one house, then it is referred back to both the houses, that is the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces, after consideration by the Mediation Committee. Appointed judges have a non-renewable term of 12 to 15 years. Exercise 67. Consider the following statements in respect of the Constitution of China. 1. National People's Congress can amend the Constitution and is elected for a period of 5 years. 2. The State Council is the supreme executive organ and comprises the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister and State Councillors. Which of the statements given above is correct? A 1 only, B 2 only, C both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is C, that is both 1 and 2. 1. National People's Congress can amend the Constitution and is elected for a period of 5 years. 2. The State Council is the supreme executive organ and comprises the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister and State Councillor. Which of the statements given above is are correct? With the A 1 only, B 2 only, C both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is C, that is both 1 and 2. 1 means National People's Congress can amend the Constitution and is elected for a period of 5 years. 2. The State Council is the supreme executive organ and comprises the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister and State Councils. Page T 4.10. Model Paper 4, Exercise 68. Directions. The following 5 items consist of 2 statements. One labeled the assertion A and the other labeled the reason R. You are to examine these 2 statements carefully and select the answers to these items using the quotes given below. A. Both A and R are individually true and R is the correct explanation of A. B. Both A and R are individually true but R is not a correct explanation of A. C. A is true but R is false. D. A is true, A is false but R is true. Exercise 68. Assertion A. Marx's theory of international relations is less of a theory and more of a perspective towards understanding of international relations. Reason R. Though Karl Marx has written extensively and he has been identified as a great theorist and philosopher of the modern times, yet he did not put forward a theory of international relations like Morgenthau, Kaplan and Snyder. The correct answer is A. That is, both A and R are individually true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Exercise 69. Assertion A. The decision-making theory was developed especially in the realm of foreign policy making. Reason R. It concentrates focuses on the persons shaping international events rather than on the international situation. The correct answer is A. That is, both A and R are individually true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Exercise 70. Assertion A. Textiles and apparels are products in which developed countries have a comparative advantage. Reason R. Textiles and apparels have been for long a labor-intensive industry. The correct answer is C. That is, A is true but R is false. Exercise 71. Assertion A. Globalization will undermine the capacity of the southern states to enforce cultural and ideological uniformity. Reason R. The southern states will be unable to contact the flow of information to its population as a result of the revolution in information technology. The correct answer is A. That is, both A and R are individually true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Exercise 72. Assertion A. Judicial activism in the form of public interest litigation has assumed greater significance in Indian judiciary in recent years. Reason R. A National Judicial Commission is mooted to bring about transparency in the judicial appointments. The correct answer is 52B. That is, both A and R are individually true, but R is not a correct expression of it. Exercise 73. Which of the following types of equality is not compatible with the liberal notion of equality? A. Legal equality. B. Political equality. C. Social equality. D. Economic equality. The correct answer is D. That is, economic equality. Exercise 74. Who among the following propagated the idea of cultural revolution under socialism? A. Karl Marx. B. Mao Zedong. C. V.I. Lenin. And D. J. Stalin. The correct answer is B. That is, Mao Zedong. Exercise 75. Consider the following statements. 1. The amended legal services authorities of the permanent lock. Wrong, I repeat. Exercise 75. Consider the following statements. Now, before that, the answer of exercise 74 is B. That is, Mao Zedong. Exercise 75. Consider the following statements. 1. The Amended Legal Services Authorities Act 1987 stipulates the establishment of permanent Lok Adalats for exercising jurisdiction in respect of disputes relating to some public utility services. 2. Attorney General of India has the right to take part in the proceedings of the Parliament without the right to vote. Which one of the statements given above is /R? Correct. A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. both 1 and 2, and D. neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is both 1 and 2. That is, the Amended Legal Services Authorities Act 1987 stipulates the establishment of permanent Lok Adalats for exercising jurisdiction in respect of disputes relating to some public utility services. And 2 only, Attorney General of India has the right to take part in the proceedings of the Parliament without the right to vote. Exercise 76. What does neoliberalism propagate? A. Abolition of state. B. Strengthening the power of state. C. Reducing the power of state. And D. Neutralizing the power of state. The correct answer is C. That is, reducing the power of state. Model paper 4, page 4.11. Exercise 77. As per Marxism, which one of the following serves as the force spurring social development? A. Materialism, B. The Communist Party, C. Socialist ideology, and D. Class contradictions. The correct answer is D, that is class contradictions. Exercise 78. Which of the following ideas is integral to Marxism? A. Materialist dialectics. B. Priority of the economic factor. C. Surplus values as mode of appointment of surplus under capitalism, and D. Concept of class struggle. The correct answer is A, that is materialist dialectics. Exercise 79. Who among the following define political party as the, within inverted comma, iron law of oligarchy, inverted comma close? A. V.I. Lenin, B. R. Michaels, C. David Apter, D. M. Duverger. The correct answer is B, that is R. Michaels. Exercise 80. Who among the following is associated with the theory of minimal winning qualifications? A. William H. Heiker, B. Maurice Duverger, C. Sartori, and D. Robert Michaels. The correct answer is A, that is William H. Riker. Exercise 81. On what basis are non-associational groups essentially formed? A. Nationalism, B. Kingship, C. Reorganism, and D. Socialism. The correct answer is B, that is kinship. Exercise 82. Consider the following statements. According to Max Weber, charisma refers to the ability of 1. Exercise opportunity on grounds of holiness or bravery. 2. Lead and inspire by sheer force of personality and conviction. 3. Reason out and argue lucidly. 4. Exercise power irrationally. Which of the statements given above is of the correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. 1, 2 and 3, and D. 2, 3 and 4. The correct answer is B, that is 2 only. Exercise 83. According to W. Rossrow, which one of the following is the correct order of the stages of economic growth? A. Traditional society, drive towards maturity, preconditions for take-off, the search of equality, and age of high mass constitution. B. Drive towards maturity, preconditions for take-off, the search for quality, age for high mass consumption within dash the traditional society. Exercise C. Traditional society, preconditions for take-off, drive towards maturity, age of high mass consumption, the search of quality. And D. Age of high mass consumption, the search of quality, traditional society, drive towards maturity, preconditions for take-off. The correct answer is C, that is traditional society, preconditions for take-off, drive towards maturity, age of high mass consumption, and the search for quality. The correct answer is C, that is, I repeat, national society, preconditions for take-off, drive towards maturity, age of high mass consumption, and the search for quality. Exercise 84. What is the cornerstone of Marxism? A. Attack on bourgeois way of the attack on bourgeois way of life. B. Economic determinism. C. Materialist conception of history. D. A distinctive philosophy of the state. The correct answer is A, that is materialist conception of theory. materialist conception of history. Sorry, repeat. The correct answer is 84C, that is materialist conception of history. Exercise 85. What is the model that deals with a conflict situation where all the rivals are to benefit in different degrees, described as A. Malign conflict situation, B. Benign conflict situation, C. Zero sum situation, D. Non-zero sum situation. The correct answer is C, that is zero sum situation. Exercise 86. Who used the concept of within inverted comma associated dependent development inverted comma clause? A. Amesto Laclau, B. Alfred Stepper, C. Santos dos Santos, and D. Fernando Cardoso. The correct answer is C, that is dos Santos. Exercise 87. Who among the following introduced the input-output analysis in the study of comparative government and politics? A. Curtis, B. Harold Laswell, C. David Eston, and D. Bertalanffy. Bertalanffy. Von C. D represents VON. Bertalanffy. Bertalanffy. The correct answer is C, that is David Eston. Page T 4.12. Model paper 4, exercise 88. What is the maximum period that shall not intervene between the first sitting in one session and the date appointed for first sitting in the next session for each House of Parliament? A. 4 months, B. 5 months, C. 6 months, and D. 8 months. The correct answer is C, that is 6 months. Exercise 89. Which of the following statements is correct? The Rajya Sabha has exclusive jurisdiction in A. Approving a proclamation of emergency, B. The creation and abolition of states, C. The election of the Vice President, and D. Authorizing the Parliament to legislate on a subject in the state list. The correct answer is D, that is the Rajya Sabha has exclusive jurisdiction in authorizing the Parliament to legislate on a subject in the state list. Exercise 90. Consider the following statements. 1. While a proclamation of emergency is in operation, Article 359 of the Constitution of India does not come into operation till an order is issued by the President specifying the rights which are suspended. 2. While a proclamation of emergency is in operation, Article 358 makes the restrictions imposed by Article 19 non-existent against the state. Which of the statements given above is correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. both 1 and 2, and D. neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is C, that is both 1 and 2. That is 1. While a proclamation of emergency is in operation, Article 359 of the Constitution of India does not come into operation till an order is issued by the President specifying the rights which are suspended. 2. While a proclamation of emergency is in operation, Article 358 makes the restrictions imposed by Article 19 non-existent against the state. Exercise 91. Consider the following statements. 1. The Vice President of India may be removed from the office by a resolution of the Council of States passed by a majority of all the then members of the councils and agreed to by the House of the People. 2. An election to fill a vacancy caused by the expiration of the term of office of Vice President shall be completed before the expiration of the term. 3. The Vice President shall, notwithstanding the expiration of his term, continue to hold office until his successor enters upon his office. Which of the statements given above is correct? 1, A 1, 2 and 3, B 1 and 2, C 2 and 3 and D 1 and 3. The correct answer is A, that is 1, 2 and 3. 1. The Vice President of India may be removed from his office by a resolution of the Council of States passed by a majority of all the then members of the Council and agreed to by the House of the People. 2. An election to fill a vacancy caused by the expiration of the terms of office of Vice President shall be completed before the expiration of the term. 3. The Vice President shall, notwithstanding the expiration of his term, continue to hold office until his successor enters upon his office. Exercise 92. In pursuance of the direction of the Supreme Court in the Mondal Commission case, the Parliament enacted the National Commission for Backward Classes Act 1993. Which of the following is not a function of the NCBC? A. To examine requests for inclusion of a class of citizens as a backward class. B. To hear complaints of under-inclusion of any backward class. C. To hear complaints of over-inclusion of any backward class. D. To identify the creamy layer among the backward classes. The correct answer is A. To examine requests for inclusion of a class of citizens as a backward class. Exercise 93. A representative democracy is the most suitable government for enactment of laws that are consistent with A. Public opinion, B. Regional aspiration, C. Principle of liberty, and D. Market forces. The correct answer is A, that is public opinion. Exercise 94. Who among the following are involved in the Kaveri River dispute? A. The central government and Karnataka. B. The central government and Tamil Nadu. D. Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. D. Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Pondicherry. The correct answer is D, that is Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Pondicherry. Exercise 95. Which of the following is are provided by Article 249 of the Constitution of India? 1. Restitutive powers of legislation. 2. Powers of the Parliament to legislate with respect to a matter in the state list in the national interest. 3. Legislation for giving effect to international agreements. A. 1 only, B. 1 and 2, C. 2 and 3, and D. 2 only. The correct answer is D, that is 2 only. 2 represents powers of the Parliament to legislate with respect to a matter in the state list in the national interest. Model paper 4, page 4.13, T 4.5, page T 4.13. Exercise 96. Match list 1 within bracket schedule of the Constitution of India with list 2 content. Under the head list 1 schedule of the Constitution of India, in the vertical column against serial number capital A 3rd schedule, serial number capital B 7th schedule, serial number capital C 9th schedule, serial number capital D 12th schedule. Under the list 2 content, in the vertical column against serial number 1 powers, authority, responsibilities of the municipalities. Against serial number 2 distribution of powers between the union and the states. Serial number 3 oaths and affirmations. Serial number 4 allocation of seats in the Council of States. And 4, that is land reforms, laws of India. Quote, in the horizontal column, the heads are capital A, space capital B, space capital C, space capital D. Under the head capital A in the vertical column, against serial number A3, B5, C3 and D5. Under the head capital D against serial number A2, B1, C1 and D2. Under the serial number capital D against serial number A5, B3, C5 and D3. Under the head capital T in the vertical column against serial number A1, B4, C4 and D1. The correct answer is A, that is under the head capital A 3rd schedule 3, that is oaths and affirmations. Under the head capital B the 7th schedule 2, that is distribution of power between the union and the states. Under the head capital C 9th schedule 5, that is land reform laws in India. Under the head capital T 12th schedule 1. That is powers, authority, responsibilities of the municipalities. Exercise 97. Which of the following directive principles of state policy was added to the Constitution of at a later date? A. Organization of village panchayats. B. Prohibition of cow slaughter. C. Free legal aid. And D. Uniform civil code. The correct answer is C, that is free legal aid. Exercise 98. Match list 1, Constituent Assembly Committee, bracket closed, with list 2, chairman within bracket. Under the head list 1, Constituent Assembly Committee, in the vertical column against serial number capital A, Steering Committee, capital B, Fundamental Rights Subcommittee, capital C, Union Constitution Committee, capital D, Provincial Constitution Committee. Under the head list 2 acts, in the vertical column against serial number 1, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, serial number 2, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, serial number 3, J.B. Kripalini, and serial number 4, Jawaharlal Nehru. The correct code in the horizontal column A, B, C, and D. Under the head capital A, against serial number A, 2, B1, C2, and D1. Under the head capital B, in the vertical column against serial number A3, B4, C1, C4, and D1. Under the head capital C, that is Union Commission Committee. I repeat, B, that is Fundamental Rights Subcommittee. 3, that is J.B. Kripalini. Under the head capital C, that is Union Constitution Committee. 4, that is Jawaharlal Nehru. Under the head capital B, D, Provincial Constitution Committee. 1, that is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. So I repeat the answers. Go under capital A, that is Steering Committee. 2, that is Dr. Rajendra Prasad. B, that is Fundamental Rights Subcommittee. 3, that is J.B. Kripalini. Under the head capital C, Union Constitution Committee. 4, that is Jawaharlal Nehru. D, under the head capital D, that is Provincial Constitution Committee. 1, that is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Exercise 99. Why did the Muslim League observe Direct Action Day on 16th August 1945? A. To bring about unity among the various factions of the Muslims. B. To protest against the inadequate representation to the members in the interim government. C. To highlight the demand for creation of Pakistan. D. To express solidarity with the Congress in the struggle against the British. The correct answer is C, that is to highlight the demand for creation of Pakistan. I repeat the answer again, C, to highlight the demand for creation of Pakistan. Exercise 100. During whose viceroyalty was the repressive act, also known as the Gagging Act, enacted? A. Lord Curzon. B. Lord Little. C. Lord Ripon, and D. Lord Morley. The correct answer is B, that is Lord Lytton. Exercise 101. What is the reason for the complexity of the relationship between the government and the president in France? A. Direct election of the president. B. Centralization of powers. C. Combination of the presidential and the parliamentary forms of government. And D. Parliament's reduced powers to control the government. C. Combination of the presidential and the parliamentary forms of government. Exercise 102. Which among the following was one of the important factors that brought down the authoritarian regime in Poland? A. Collapse of the Berlin Wall. B. Growth of global civil society. C. Growth of solidarity movement. And D. Retirement of Gorbachev. The correct answer is C, that is growth of solidarity movement. Page T 4.14. Model paper 4, exercise 103. Consider the following statements in respect of the British Civil Service. 1. Northcote Trevelyan report recommended for merit system of recruitment and opposed the generalist cadre of British top civil posts. 2. Fulton Committee stressed the need for generalist service and was not in favor of induction of specialists into the British civil service. Which of the statements given above is are correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. both 1 and 2, D. neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is D. neither 1 and 2. 104. Consider the following statements. 1. Moscow divided all governments into two types, feudal and bureaucratic. 2. Max Weber identified three types of authorities: charismatic, traditional, legal, rational. 3. John Stuart Mill was the first scholar to have coined the term bureaucracy. 4. Friedrich Engels wrote one of the early texts on the conditions of working classes in England. Which of the statements given above are correct? A. 1, 2, 3 and 4, B. 1, 2 and 4, C. 3 and 4, D. 2 and 3. The correct answer is B, that is 1, 2 and 4. 1. Moscow divided all governments into two types, feudal and bureaucratic. 2. Max Weber identified three types of authorities: charismatic, traditional, legal, rational. 4. Friedrich Engels wrote one of the early texts on the conditions of the working classes in England. Exercise 105. Which of the following are correct about federalism? 1. It implies protection and co-determination. 2. It provides for additional controls of government, bureaucracy and parliament. 3. It makes the process of government a continuing task of adjustment and coordination of competing interests. 4. It ensures uniformity of law and administration. A. 1, 2, 3 and 4, B. 1, 2 and 3, C. 2 and 4 and D. 1, 3 and 4. The correct answer is C, that is 1, 3 and 4. 1. It implies protection and co-determination. 3. That is, it makes the process of government a continuing task of adjustment and coordination of competing interests. And 4. It ensures uniformity of law and administration. Exercise 106. How much is the quorum of a House of Parliament in India? A. 1/2 of the membership of the House, B. 1/3 of the membership of the House, C. 2/3 of the membership of the House, and D. 1/10 of the membership of the House. The correct answer is D, that is 1/10 of the membership of the House. 107. Who among the following gave prominence to the size principle in the history of political coalitions? A. William Riker, B. Gabriel Almond, C. Lucian W. Pye, and D. V.O. Key. That is A, that is William Riker. Exercise 108. In which of the following countries was proportional representation system given up after a practice of nearly 50 years in favor of first past the post system? A. Germany, B. France, C. USA, and D. Italy. The correct answer is B. Exercise 109. In respect to the theory of political parties, which one of the following was propounded by Maurice Duverger? A. Two-party system, B. Fourfold classification on the basis of structure, C. Cadre-based party, and D. Coalitional system. The correct answer is B, that is fourfold classification on the basis of structure. Exercise 110. On what basis does Marx's dialectic materialism interpret and analyze the social events? A. Material forces, B. Communal forces, C. Political forces, and D. International milieu. The correct answer is A, that is material forces. Exercise 111. Match list 1 idea with list 2 thinker. Under the head list 1 idea, in the vertical column against serial number capital A, group theory, capital B, polyarchy, capital C, elite theory, capital D, polite theory, power elite. Under the head list two thinker in the vertical column, again serial number 1, Robert Dahi, serial number 2, G. Mosca, serial number 3, A.F. Bentley, serial number 4, C. Wright Mills. Code in the horizontal column, the heads are capital A, capital B, capital C and capital D. Under the head capital A, in the vertical column again serial number A3, B2, C3 and D2. Under the head capital B, again serial number A4, B1, C1 and D4. Under the head capital C, in the again serial number A2, B3, C2 and D3. Under the head capital D, in the vertical column again serial number A1, B4, C4 and D1. The correct answer is C, that is under the head capital A, that is group theory. 3, that is A. Bentley. Under the head capital B, polyarchy. 1, that is Robert Dahi. Under the head capital C, that is elite theory. 2, that is G. Mosca. Under the head capital D, that is power elite. 4, that is C. Wright Mills. Model paper 4, page T 4.15. Exercise 112. Which of the following revolutions was inspired by the theory of general will? A. Bolshevik Revolution, B. French Revolution, C. Industrial Revolution and D. Glorious Revolution. The correct answer is B, that is French Revolution. Exercise 113. Match list 1 exponent with list 2 concept. Under the head list 1 exponent, in the vertical column again serial number A, Aristotle, serial number B, John Locke, serial number C, Sokpal and serial number D, Polybius. Under the heads list 2 concept, in the vertical column again serial number 1, Urge for Equality causes revolutions. Again serial number 2, revolution is resetting of things in their proper order. Again serial number 3, structural weaknesses create the potential for revolutionary crisis. Serial number 4, revolutions occur when kings fail to protect the rights of their subjects. Code in the horizontal column, the heads are capital A, capital B, capital C and capital D. Under the head capital A, in the vertical column again serial number A1, B3, C1 and D3. Under the head capital B, against in the vertical column again serial number A4, B2, C2 and D4. Under the head capital C, again serial number A3, B1, C3 and D1. Under the head capital D, again serial number A2, B4, C4 and D2. The correct answer is A, that is under capital A, Aristotle. 1, that is Urge for Equality causes revolutions. Under capital B, that is John Locke. 4, that is revolutions occur when kings fail to protect the rights of their subjects. C, that is Sokpal. 3, that is structural weaknesses create the potential for revolutionary crisis. D, that is Polybius. 2, that is revolution is resetting of things in their proper order. Exercise 114. Which of the following principles is denoted by the Decay's rule of law? A. Equality before law and rule by law. B. Rule by law and law alone and due process of law. C. Equality before law and administrative law. And D. Rule by law, equality before law and due process of law. The correct answer is A, that is equality before law and rule by law. Exercise 115. Which of the following pairs is not correctly matched? A. Harmony between the parts of the society, Plato. B. Greatest good of the greatest number, J. Bentham. C. Greatest advantage of the least advantaged, John Rawls. D. Interest of the strongest, Aristotle. The correct answer is D, that is interest of the strongest, Aristotle. Exercise 116. A growing infringement of liberty of citizens emanates from which one of the following? A centralized bureaucratic state. B. Coalition governments. C. Devolution of power. And D. Affirmative action. The correct answer is A. That is a centralized bureaucratic state. Exercise 117. Which of the following thoughts lays stress on rights of recognition and belonging? A. Neoliberalism. Now, before wrong. I repeat the answer of exercise 116. A centralized bureaucratic state. And exercise 117. Which of the following thoughts lays stress on rights of recognition and belonging? A. Neoliberalism. B. Conservatism. C. Communitarianism. And D. Democratic socialism. The correct answer is C. That is communitarianism. Exercise 118. Which of the following thinkers stressed the productive dimension of power? A. Foucault. B. Mill. C. Marx. And D. Laswell. The correct answer is A. That is Foucault. Exercise 119. Rousseau was an advocate of A. Individual sovereignty. B. Popular sovereignty. C. Political sovereignty. And D. Legal sovereignty. The correct answer is B. That is popular sovereignty. Exercise 120. Which one of the following is the correct sequence in the political philosophy of John Locke? A. State of nature, civil society, natural rights, contract. B. Natural rights, contract, state of nature, civil society. C. Natural rights, contract, civil society, and natural rights. D. Natural rights, state of nature, contract, and civil society. The correct answer is D. That is natural rights, state of nature, contract, civil society.